What is going on, everyone? VladKilljoy back again with another video. So as chapter 3 has been released, we also have huge changes to aim assist, which means you may need to change your sensitivity. And if that's the case, then I'm guessing that you're a controller player as well, just like myself, and you've clicked on the right video. So let's get right on into it, shall we? So first off, let's talk about the changes to aim assist that Epic has implemented for this season. They kind of implemented it last season as well, but we all thought it was kind of a bug that was going on with aim assist. Little did we know that Epic actually meant to do this on purpose, and that being where aim assist just kind of turns off when you're like in really close range to people. And I'm just gonna we're gonna jump into creative, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about here. Maybe because Epic knew that this was going to be a spray and pray meta, so they had to nerf aim assist pretty much completely when it comes to, like, you know, 1x1 box tiles, so that way people wouldn't complain about aim assist and controller players and all that other good stuff. But they just completely got rid of aim assist altogether if you're in a 1x1 box of someone, and that's just not okay. So let me hop into creative real quick with my buddy Sinbad here, and I'm going to show you the differences between the last chapter's weapons and this chapter's weapons. All right, now that we're here in creative, I can kind of show y'all what is going on with aim assist, and that it is actually on purpose that Epic's done this. So I've got the old AR, old SMG, and the new MK7 and the Stinger SMG, okay? So first off, like, as you see, it kind of slows down when I go across them. You can see it real well if I like spin around, right? You see how it like slows down whenever I get close to him? That is aim assist doing its job and sticking onto the target. Now with the AR, you see it kind of sticks a little bit more with the AR. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's check out the SMG for this chapter. It grabs it a little bit with the SMG, which is fine because SMGs are supposed to be like close range, but it didn't grab it anywhere close to how much this SMG grabs. You see the difference between the two SMGs? The old SMG was so much more stickier than the new SMG. Now let's go to the new AR. Almost like pretty much zero aim assist when it comes to the AR, right? This is the new AR, old AR. You see how that just grabs versus this? That is absolutely zero aim assist that we have with the new AR. We get a little bit with the new SMG, but very little. Not as much as the old SMG is. So SMGs still have aim assist up close, but it's nothing like the old chapter was. And you get absolutely zero aim assist with the AR up close. It's just insane. And I do not understand why Epic has done this. And I'm sure that they're going to change it sometime here in the future. Hopefully in the next like couple weeks, maybe in the first update. People need to make a bigger deal about this, because controller players, we need to stick together. And we need aim assist. Those are the two things we need. You can't aim as well with this much movement, right, as you can doing something like this. You're just not going to be able to aim better. We need some kind of assistance for it. And it's not because, oh, controller players are bad or anything like that. It's because we don't have as much room as controller or as mouse and keyboard players do. And it's an analog stick versus like your entire hand. But now that I've shown y'all that aim assist is kind of still broken, even though it's intentional, let me show you the settings that I have found for this season on how aim assist is working. All right, so as y'all seen in that creative match right there, without having aim assist, your sensitivity really plays a bigger part than ever now, because you really have to be able to control your weapons and your crosshair in those really tight situations where it's very crucial for you to hit your shots, right? If you're in a box with someone or someone jumps in your box, it's whoever hits the most shots. That's who's going to win that fight. And not having aim assist makes that very difficult. So I've been testing around with a couple of things, and I think I've found a sensitivity that really works, at least for me. And oddly enough, it is the same sensitivity that Day actually is using right now. I know a lot of people have been moving over to like exponential settings, and that's fine. You know, if you play on Expo, definitely test around with some like exponential settings to see if you can end up getting better aim in that 1-by-1 situation. For me, I tried out Expo. I didn't really care for it because just the way that you aim with it is just kind of inconsistent for me. So that's why I stuck with linear. Some things have changed from the last time, mainly the colorblind settings, right? So I've got it on Trinote 10, simply because like right now on performance mode, the map seems a little like washed out as far as like the colors go. So having it on Trinote 10 really makes everything pop a bit more and makes it look like Fortnite. Because when you think of Fortnite, you think all the really like bright colors and all that good stuff, and that's what Trinote 10 does on performance mode for this new chapter. Maybe they'll fix it. Maybe it's intended to be that way. That's what I'm rocking right now, and it's really been helping out with spotting people and actually being able to see things in some of the darker areas like the woods and whatnot. Moving on though, I've actually moved my view distance to medium instead of low, just because snipers are in the game now, so it's going to be a little bit better to be able to spot people from a little bit further away with the sniper before like zooming in and taking the shot. Textures I think are the same from the last video. If not, they're on medium, just because it takes a little bit of the strain off the CPU and makes the GPU actually do a little bit more work. That's how it was for Unreal Engine 4. As far as Unreal Engine 5, I don't know if it makes a difference or not. I'll have to do a little bit more testing with that, but I have mine on medium for that reason. Meshes on high, because even though low meshes will give you better performance and more frames, I don't like how they look, and I feel like my audience wouldn't like how they look either. So I have meshes on high. Everything else is about the same. VSync off. I show my FPS, and I'm in performance mode, which has actually moved to beta this chapter instead of alpha like it was last chapter. So that's why you notice a little bit more difference in performance mode. They've actually added anti-aliasing to performance mode, which I don't really like because I always had anti-aliasing off anyway. So them just adding it into performance mode instead of giving us like a setting for it kind of bothers me a little bit. And that's why you get like, that's why the trees and everything kind of look blurry every now and then, is because anti-aliasing is now built into performance mode. All this stuff is preference, really. I do play with confirm edit on release. I just feel like it's a lot easier. One less button I gotta press. On to the good stuff. So I still play on 2.0 build and edit since. I really like that. It seems to be, you know, the middle ground for me. It's not too fast, not too slow. But this is the new thing right here. I went from 43, 44, 43, somewhere around there, to 39. And I know that seems kind of low, especially when a lot of people were playing, you know, mid to high 40s in last chapter, but because you don't have aim assist in those close quarter situations, and because the meta right now kind of revolves around the SMG and that MK7 AR, having the lower sensitivity really helps you stay on target when they're in your box, since we don't have aim assist. If it gets fixed, I may raise it up to like 41 or something, but right now 39 has really been where it's at. And like I said earlier, this is the same sensitivity that Day uses as far as like the horizontal and vertical look. He also plays on 39, and I mean Day's a beast, so I really like it. I might tweak with it just a bit more just to see how it does. but I'm really liking 39. I'm really liking 39. As far as the ADS goes, I have 11 and 12. But for the horizontal, I feel like 10% on the horizontal was a little bit too slow to be able to track people. And then 12 was a little too fast. I might just need to get used to 12% on the horizontal. But right now, 11 horizontal is like the perfect place for me right now. So until they start getting close and I lose aim assist, and then it gets a little bit difficult. Anyway, I've been trying to work with the ADS. It's always been like my most iffy setting. I've never been able to get the ADS sense right, but I've gotten it to a point where it feels okay and I'm able to hit my shots. Do 16% boost just because, like, if someone launch pads off, if I stay at like 11%, I'm never going to be able to catch up to them before they get away. So having that 16% boost really helps me be able to like snap to my target while they're like launch padding off or whatever the case may be. And then I can slow down once I'm on them, track them. Like I said, I'm on linear. It's probably the best input curve in my opinion, because everything just feels more fluid, unlike exponential. But there are a ton of good players that play on exponential. So I would say just do whatever feels right for you. Copy these settings, see how it works for you. If you play on Expo, 46, 47 would be my suggestion for exponential input curve. As far as this meta goes with not having aim assist and all of that. Dead zones is 7 and 6. Just because that's how my controller is kind of set up. It doesn't really have a lot of stick drift, so I'm able to play with it a little bit lower there. So audio stuff goes pretty much basic stuff. My keybinds, I'll go kind of slow with it. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one more thing. The slide hold time, I actually have it all the way down at 0.1 seconds. Just so that way it's a little bit easier to slide around when I need to, instead of having to hold it for, I think the default was like 3.3 or 1.13 or 0.14, somewhere around there. But I have it on 0.1 just because I'm like messing around with like building, editing, and all that stuff while sliding as well. I feel like that's really going to be the new meta once everything gets kind of balanced and people learn how to slide offensively besides defensively. Just slide around for mobility. It's great, but I feel like the way that the community is, that whenever a new mechanic such as sliding comes out, it's going to take it to a completely new level. So make sure you're experimenting around with sliding. I've already seen some insane clips with it. Those are my settings, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about why you might not like feel right with your sensitivity as far as like the one by one boxes, and how aim assist has changed from last season to this season. If you like the video, hit that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. We have a ton of chapter 3 stuff that we're going to be going over and explaining in the very near future, and possibly a little trip somewhere that I might vlog. Let me know if you'll be interested in that. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.